welcome to Sangri's COVID classroom. Brand new week, brand new me. Just kidding, it's the same me. So, you ever get bored? You know, like how it's just been sitting around for weeks and no, yep. So just think about how you can always Google ducks wearing clothes and Google image search it, and you will find such gems as Victorian era duck, or festive duck, or Superman duck, or Ariel duck, or I guess medieval fisherman duck. Anyway, just remember, you're only bored if you can't think of ducks. So let's get into today's thing. Today is Monday, March 30th, and here's what you're doing. That's this. You missed it so much. And you're going to open your outline. I'm not linking it because you can find it yourself because it's yours. And then within your outline, what you're doing is outlining your body paragraph. So you're completing that component of your outline. And let's get into it. So, because I'm famous on YouTube and I'm going to make it big, I've pulled the name of this person, but you know who you are, and your last name is Wilson, and you're from South Dakota or Kansas, and this is the outline that you made, and I thought that was cool, and you did that. And then, did you know, if you scroll down, this is the area that we will be dealing with today. So because your essay is between 5 and 7 pages, I presume you won't need more than 3 body paragraphs, but I gave you 5. Probably just do 3, and if they're like short, do 4. But your goal for today is to get into like your vision for how you're going to do these body paragraphs. And you can see that I did a step-by-step. Here's Wilson's Coca-Cola research essay beginning. So, nice, meaty intro, nice. And then here, he made a note that his first paragraph is going to be about Pemberton, the guy, and how he named Coca-Cola. So let's pretend that I am Mr. Wilson from Kansas. So, topic, Pemberton, naming Coca-Cola. Cool. First sentence. That both introduces the topic and ties it into my thesis. Let's say, what was his thesis? Today, but back in 1892, it was started, no, that's the worst thesis. Basically, his thesis, according to his outline, is that, like, Coca-Cola is an example of the American dream. So, let's say Pemberton naming it, choosing Coca-Cola as an iconic American business name, or product name, relates to the American dream. Through its ubiquitous association with America. Ooh. You know, some sort of sentence like that brings up in the beginning what your topic is, and then immediately relates it into your thesis, if he had one, which was like how Coca-Cola is the American dream. And he pulled a lot of good quotes in his other thing, so you can just go in and find the quotes that you want. Probably for the purposes of a longer research essay like this, you want at least 2 or maybe 3, and you literally just go and copy-paste that in. That's the evidence you want to use. In terms of how you're going to use that evidence, probably, like, below the quote itself, you can just do the note for this one underneath that quote. You're going to be like, oh, here's a sentence that brings the quote together and ties it back into my first sentence. And you do that with as many quotes that you have. And then the final sentence, that's one thing I can do. Basically, your final sentence, you're going to full circle back into your first sentence. So, you know how, like, the introduction's like a funnel? Well, it's in a body paragraph. In a body paragraph, it's a little bit like a donut, okay? So you start here, and you bring in all some nice, delicious, wonderful sprinkles, sugar, it's fried, love it, but then you full circle all the way back to the thesis argument that you started with. You complete the donut. You don't make a half-assed you donut. You make a full circling back idea. So, your final sentence should be reminiscent of your first sentence, but the key difference is that with your quotes and your argument, you have proved what you've said in this line. So your final sentence can wrap up Coca-Cola as a name was a fateful decision that shaped America's image abroad. And thus, minus this part that I didn't write, you bring in your own quotes and your own argument about that quote. That is the basic process that you're going to do for however many body paragraphs you have. BP standing for body paragraph. Presumably you have 3, maybe you have 4. Hopefully you don't have 5, because then your body paragraphs are probably way too short. And that's it for today, the body paragraph thing. You're working totally within your outline. You don't need to reshare it with me because I have access to it. And one final thing that can help you with this whole body paragraph thing, do remember that you have access to Research Paper Hub, that document. And I have put in that document my original ancient European history essay about potatoes. So, it's high school me, so it's a little bit wordy, and I was a little bit of a tryhard. But I do model what I mean, effectively, in terms of body paragraphs. So my introduction is way too long. It goes on for over a page. But if you take a look at my first body paragraph, you can see exactly what I mean in action. So my first line is describing that, yes, I'm talking about the nutrition of potatoes. That's my topic. But then I bring in some strong language that links it back into my thesis, therefore, because it's nutritious, it set Europe up for the Industrial Revolution. That's my whole first line. It's like an argument related to this. And then I bring in a bunch of my quotes. And I went kind of crazy with my quotes because try hard. But you can see that I bring in all my quotes and all my evidence, and I talk about how it's related to Europe and bring them all in. And then my final line is huge because I still have this problem. I'm a fan of really long sentences, but I talk about the same idea that I started with. Yet the potato also encouraged industrialization in another fashion. It shifted the focus of European life away from the inward goal of farming to survive and instead toward the worldwide view of manufacturing products for a global economy. So, tied it back into that industrial Europe idea. And you have access to that, so if you want some golden inspiration and you want to learn about potatoes, consider that. I close by having you think about ducks and tuxedos, and goodbye.